A warm welcome to all our viewers. I'm your host Pratiksha Mishra and you're watching another episode of South Asia Focus. Let's begin the show. India US relations appear poised for renewed momentum with the new US ambassador to India, Sergio Gore, signaling a willingness to move beyond recent trade frictions. Emphasizing shared democratic values and long term strategic interest, Gore described the partnership as extending well beyond tariffs and market access. Meanwhile, high level engagement has also picked up pace with ministerial discussions focusing on critical minerals, technology, and nuclear cooperation. Take a look.
India and the United States share a partnership that spans decades, anchored in shared democratic values, expanding economic ties, and growing strategic convergence. Even as recent trade frictions have tested the relationship, both sides appear keen to turn the page. The tone for that reset was set by the new United States ambassador to India, Sergio Gore, who struck a reassuring note soon after assuming charge in New Delhi. Speaking after formally assuming charge in Delhi, Gore emphasized that differences are inevitable between close partners but insisted that strong friendships ultimately prevail. He described India and the United States as natural partners whose relationship extends far beyond trade disputes, underlining cooperation across security, technology, and global challenges.
I come to this remarkable nation with profound respect and with a clear mission to take the partnership between our two great nations to the next level. This is the intersection of the world's oldest democracy and the world's largest democracy. And while trade is very important for our relationship, we will continue to work closely together on other very important areas, such as security, counterterrorism, energy, technology, education, and health.
The arrival of Ambassador Gore is being interpreted as a signal that the Trump administration is ready to re-energize high-level engagement with New Delhi after months of uncertainty. Strategic cooperation is expected to take center stage, with emerging technologies becoming a key pillar of the partnership. India is also expected to be invited to join Pax Silica, a proposed alliance aimed at building a comprehensive ecosystem for artificial intelligence, from refining raw materials to manufacturing high-end technology components.
The first speech that Ambassador Gore made in India, I think, was a very warm, a very positive, and very energy-oriented, dynamic kind of a speech. I would hope and wish that Ambassador Gore becomes a rainmaker between India and US, i.e., a rainmaker who creates, sets up, and makes deals happen, big deals happen. And by big deals happen, it will be, and it is, in areas of economic partnerships, it is in areas of science and technology, it's in multiple domains.
Diplomatic engagement has also intensified at the ministerial level. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar recently held a substantive conversation with the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, with discussions focusing on trade, critical minerals, and nuclear cooperation, areas seen as central to long-term strategic alignment between the two countries. India's push to expand domestic manufacturing and reduce dependence on vulnerable global supply chains has added urgency to these talks. Reflecting this priority, India also participated in the Critical Minerals Ministerial Meeting hosted by the United States in Washington, underscoring the growing convergence between New Delhi and Washington on securing resilient and sustainable supply chains.
As we all know, and especially in India, when the manufacturing sector is growing rapidly, especially electronics manufacturing, it's very important for all the countries, including India, to have a resilient supply chain of critical minerals. So in this meeting, participants from various countries, they discussed their experience, the steps that they are taking in making the supply chain resilient, especially technology for refining, processing, the mineral ores so that high quality critical minerals, especially the rare earth permanent magnets, those kind of materials can be secured in a long term, in a sustainable manner.
India-US relations have historically weathered phases of friction and alignment, but shared strategic concerns from countering global supply chain disruptions to managing emerging technologies continue to bind the two democracies together. As geopolitical competition intensifies and technology becomes the new battleground of global influence, both New Delhi and Washington appear keen to stabilize ties and expand cooperation beyond transactional trade disputes.
Moving on. International partnerships play a vital role in promoting peace, prosperity, and global cooperation in an interconnected world. Against this backdrop, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz's visit to India marked a historic milestone, coinciding with 25 years of the India-Germany strategic partnership and 75 years of diplomatic relations. The visit strengthened cooperation across defense, the Indo-Pacific strategy, climate action, technology, and trade. Take a look.
At the invitation of India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Chancellor of Germany, Friedrich Merz, paid an official visit to India from 12 to 13 January 2026. The visit reflected the growing depth of bilateral ties, with the Chancellor accompanied by a high-level delegation of 23 leading German CEOs and industry leaders, underlining the strong economic focus of the engagement. During wide-ranging talks, Chancellor Merz indicated that the European Union and India could finalize a free trade agreement as early as the end of this month. He noted that the presidents of the European Commission and the European Council are expected to travel to India later in January to sign the agreement, should negotiations conclude successfully.
If we want to remain competitive in this world and sustain long-term economic growth, we must strengthen our resilience. This means partnering with trusted actors, promoting openness and fair competition, and protecting our economic base against one-sided dependencies and their weaponization. Diversification and rules-based frameworks is how to put this approach into practice. For this reason, Germany supports an ambitious and economically meaningful EU-India free trade agreement as a central pillar for stable and future-oriented economic engagement. We cannot let this chance go by.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi welcomed Germany's support for closer economic integration between India and the European Union, describing the proposed free trade agreement as a major step forward for bilateral trade and investment ties.
इंडिया ईयू फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट भी जल्द साकार होने जा रहा है। यह हमारे व्यापार, निवेश और साझेदारी के लिए एक नया अध्याय खोलने वाला है। यानी आपके लिए रास्ता क्लियर है।
The leaders also reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening defense and security cooperation, welcoming the outcomes of the High Defense Committee meeting held in New Delhi in November 2025. They agreed to further enhance institutionalized service-to-service staff talks, expand joint military exercises, and increase training and exchanges of senior officials. Both sides emphasized the importance of cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region, maritime security, and defense technology collaboration, reflecting shared strategic interests and mutual trust. Chancellor Friedrich Merz's visit has reaffirmed the strength and maturity of the India-Germany partnership. With deepening cooperation across trade, defense, technology, and global challenges, both nations are poised to work even more closely in shaping a stable, prosperous, and sustainable future, turning shared vision into lasting action.
Time now for Asia This Week, the stories from across the continent.
Yokohama shows attractive scenery in 4 seasons. Especially in winter, Yokohama holds fantastic and dynamic illumination show Yoru no Yo. It is accelerated by clean and transparent air condition. It was highly evaluated and nominated to Japan's major night scenery.
都市型の夜景っていうところで新三大夜景都市に選出されたっていうことで、赤レンガとか歴史があるですね三景園ですとか、そういったところのライトアップっていうところが今回の選定の評価につながったと感じております。多くの方々にですね横浜の夜景を楽しんでいただけるよう尽力していきたいと考えております。
Yokohama has long history enriched by development of culture and business. To the future, Yokohama will increase its charm continuously to satisfy citizens and visitors from all over the world. India celebrated Makar Sankranti with great enthusiasm, reflecting the nation's rich cultural heritage. The festival marked the sun's transition into Capricorn, symbolizing new beginnings and prosperity. Across the country, people participated in traditional rituals like kite flying and community gatherings. Special delicacies like jaggery highlighted the spirit of sharing and harmony. Temples and riverbanks witnessed devoted prayers, emphasizing gratitude and spiritual renewal. Prosperity of city centre is expanding to suburb area. Yamato Logistics India contributes to transportation among city and suburb area. Nearby highway in Haryana state, big logistics center was launched.
当社グループはですね、宅急便を中心に、約法人顧客180万社おりまして、インドだとしても、日本の品質を、維持したままですね、オペレーションを提供させていただいている。海外原稿としてもですね、最大級の、ロジスティックセンターを、ハリヤナ州の、シダラワリというところに設置をいたしました。インドはですね、製造業が、成長しておりまして、OEM メーカーさんもそうですし、サプライヤーさんも、生産拠点を、増強されていると。インドというのは、グローバルの中でも成長領域、成長、国という認識をしておりまして、やはりお客様のニーズに対して、積極的に、投資を行って、今回のロジスティックセンターですとか、あるいは、輸送のネットワークですとか、こういったところを拡充していくという戦略を持ってやっております。
Japanese manufacturing policy is shared with Indian local employee to confirm real Make in India. It is the dawn of international distribution network.
Public anger is steadily mounting in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, where political discontent and daily hardships are converging. While leaders of the Joint Awami Action Committee claim restraint despite repression, questions remain over the implementation of promises made by authorities. At the same time, prolonged electricity load shedding has disrupted lives and livelihoods, sparking fresh protest in rural areas. Take a look.
Political tension is once again escalating in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir as public anger grows over the non-implementation of an agreement between the government of Pakistan and the Joint Awami Action Committee. Protest leaders accuse the authorities of backtracking on their commitments, particularly regarding political representation and governance reforms. According to the committee, the agreement promised the abolition of 12 reserved seats allocated to migrants residing in Pakistan. However, instead of scrapping these seats, the same individuals have reportedly been reappointed as chairpersons of assembly committees and granted official privileges. Moves, the committee says, clearly violates the terms of the agreement. The protest come amid allegations of excessive force and targeted action against youth activists.
हमारे नौजवानों को डायरेक्ट गोलियां मारी गई, हमारे नौजवानों को पूरी रियासत के अंदर तशद्दुद का निशाना बनाया गया, चादर और चार दीवारी का तकद्दस पामाल किया गया। लेकिन जम्मू कश्मीर ज्वाइंट अवामी एक्शन कमेटी ने सब्र का मुजाहरा किया क्योंकि पूरा प्लान था। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह रियासत के लोग, रियासत के नौजवान बाशऊर हैं, उनको जो बात कही उन्होंने वो बात मानी। मैं फिर ये बात कहूंगा कि आप हमारे पाबंद नहीं हैं, लेकिन आपसे एक रिक्वेस्ट हम जरूर करेंगे कि आप डिसिप्लिन के अंदर रहें। आप जब डिसिप्लिन के अंदर रहते हैं, ये जिस तरीके से आप यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं ना, खुदा की कसम आधी कामयाबी आपकी इस तरीके बैठने से मैं समझता हूँ उनकी नब्ज क्या है।
Highlighting the importance of patience, Shaukat Nawaz Mir said the committee deliberately exercised restraint and discipline despite repression.
उसके बाद 4 और 5 अक्टूबर एक एग्रीमेंट हुआ। एग्रीमेंट के अंदर तमाम शराइत पब्लिक की गई जो लिखी गई हैं। हुकूमत पाकिस्तान, हुकूमत आज़ाद कश्मीर और जम्मू और कश्मीर ज्वाइंट अवामी एक्शन कमेटी, उस एग्रीमेंट के अंदर 3 वो ताकतें थी जिनके दरमियान वो एग्रीमेंट हुआ। इससे पहले आपको कहा जाता था कि ये जत्था है, आपको कोई तस्लीम नहीं करता था। आपकी सबसे बड़ी और पहली कामयाबी क्या थी कि जिस वक्त जम्मू और कश्मीर ज्वाइंट अवामी एक्शन कमेटी के मैंडेट को तस्लीम करते हुए उस फरीकी एग्रीमेंट के अंदर आपने बहैसियत फरीक पेपर साइन किए, आपकी हकीकत को तस्लीम किया गया, जो पूरी दुनिया आज कश्मीरियों की हकीकत को तस्लीम करती है और मानती है। ये आपकी सबसे बड़ी कामयाबी है।
The lack of genuine political representation has contributed to multiple governance failures across the region. Alongside political discontent, residents are now grappling with prolonged electricity load shedding, particularly in rural areas. Anger over frequent power cuts and low voltage has sparked fresh protests, with residents blocking highways and raising slogans against the electricity department. The disruptions continue to severely affect daily life and local businesses.
बिजली की जो टाइमिंग है वो बिल्कुल कोई बराबर टाइमिंग इन्होंने नहीं रखी हुई। सुबह जिस वक्त लोग आते हैं नाश्ते के टाइम उन्होंने बिजली बंद की होती है, शाम को जब ये जा रहे होते हैं तब भी बिजली बंद होती है, दिन के टाइम जब कारोबार का टाइम होता है बहुत ज़्यादा वक्त में इन्हें बिजली लेके जाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से बहुत ज़्यादा कारोबार मुतासर होते हैं। अभी एक बंदे ने काम ही जो है बिजली के ज़रिए करना है, चार्जिंग करनी है, मोबाइल करनी है या इजी पैसे का काम करना है।
With political promises ignored and essential services failing, both the youth and local residents are left frustrated and voicing their anger. The POJK government faces mounting pressure to fulfill their commitments or risk further unrest across the region.
India is a land of crafts and craftsmen, where every region tells its story through art shaped by hand and heart. From loom to metal, from wood to clay, generations of skilled artisans continue to preserve the soul of Indian heritage. And in the coastal state of Goa, beyond its beaches and nightlife, another quiet legacy lives on: the timeless art of pottery that carries forward the traditions of Goan craftsmanship. Nestled amidst Goa's vibrant culture lies a lesser-known world where earth meets creativity. Goa's pottery tradition, rooted in centuries-old practices, reflects both Indian ethos and local coastal influences. Here, clay is not just a material, it becomes a medium to preserve identity, livelihood, and legacy. As the wheel begins to spin, hands move with rhythm and precision, turning lumps of clay into vessels of beauty and utility.
मैं ट्रेडिशनल पॉटर हूँ। मेरा पिताजी भी यही चीज़ करते थे और मैं उनके द्वारा मैं सीखा हुआ हूँ। और सीखा हुआ हूँ तो मैं गांव में जो चीज़ वो ज़माने में चलता था 40-50 साल के पहले है, तो वो सब घर में बर्तन बनता था, तो उसमें खाना पकाने का, रोटी बनाने का, ये सब्जी बनाने का, ऐसा चीज़ बनता था। लेकिन मैं बाहर निकल गया तो ये सब आर्ट का काम मैंने सब कंट्रोल किया।
Meet Amar Seth, a humble artisan whose hands tell stories of perseverance and passion. Day after day, he molds raw clay into graceful forms, pots, crockery, and decorative pieces that blend tradition with modern taste. From kneading the mud to firing it in blazing kilns, the process reflects both skill and soul. A living example of how India's craft traditions continue to thrive in quiet corners.
ये पॉटरी हैं जो मेरे ग्रैंडफादर से पहले से मुझे लगता है कम से कम 150 साल से पहले तक मैं जानता हूँ चालू था। मेरे ग्रैंडफादर करते थे, मेरे फादर करते थे। उससे पहले का तो हिस्ट्री पता नहीं है मुझे, लेकिन वहाँ से आया था। तो बीच में ये पॉटरी थोड़ा कम होने लगा। गोवा में बहुत लोग पॉटरी करने से कम थे। तो एक दिन में मुझे उसमें बहुत आदत थी कि पॉटरी करना मुझे बहुत पसंद था, तो मैं देखता था। तो वहाँ से मेरा एक जर्नी स्टार्ट हुई है।
The journey of clay does not end at the wheel. It finds its final destination in spaces where art meets everyday life. One such destination is a renowned name in Goa's ceramic world, Thomas Potter. Known for its unique handmade ceramics, custom designs, and artistic workshops, the store showcases how traditional pottery has evolved into contemporary lifestyle art.
Thomas is very interested in marine life, and is very interested in scuba diving and other such kind of things, and you will see that inspiration in the works that he creates. So he makes a lot of coral figures and a lot of fish, such kind of things like octopus. But yeah, we also have like a different style of a utility pottery, like mugs and cups and stuff. Yeah.
Alongside ceramics, vibrant artificial jewelry adds another layer of creativity, making it a hub of handcrafted elegance. Adding another layer of creativity to Thomas Potter's is Manifest Design, a distinctive artificial jewelry brand known for its bold statement pieces. Inspired by art and sculptures, each creation goes beyond ornamentations to become a form of wearable art.
When people come to Goa, they're looking for interesting pieces that they can't find anywhere else, some experimental work. So we definitely fulfill that need. And definitely it's a very fashion-forward customer that comes to Goa. So we're lucky. And we also have an online presence. So a lot of our online customers who have been buying our jewelry for the last 15 years, they all love visiting Goa every year. And whenever they come, they love to come to the studio, see how I create the pieces and see the entire collection presented together, as you see here.
From Amar Seth's spinning wheel to the shells of Thomas Potter, Goa's pottery journey reflects a seamless blend of tradition and innovation. These creations are no longer just utensils. They are stories shaped in clay, carrying the warmth of human touch. In a land known for its waves and wanderers, Goa's potters quietly craft a different kind of legacy, one that does not fade with time. With every turn of the wheel, Goa's pottery continues to shape its timeless heritage. And with that, we come to the end of this week's episode. See you next week. Till then, goodbye and take care.